I want you to remember this phrase and lock this phrase into your mind. The vision drives every decision, okay? The vision drives every decision. Lock it into your mind. The vision drives every decision. So if you're looking to make a decision, should I go into a new market? Should I take on this thing? Should I do this marketing activity? Should I hire this person? Should I do this? Are we executing right? You should always have a vision to go back to and look to drive that decision. If you don't, then you're likely overworking yourself. You're likely working towards a never-ending goal that's never going to end because you're just trying to continue to make sure that you're holding the ship together and making income stay up. But get that vision down, and then the strategy is what you look at on the operational side during the year. That's the strategy. Put that on a piece of paper, put it on a Google Doc, whatever you need to do, and talk about it all the time with your team. And then you measure the execution of your strategy with your scorecards, project updates, things like that.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Carrot Cast. Now, the Carrot Cast, we're usually diving in doing interviews with amazing real estate investors, amazing real estate agents. Now, in these episodes, every Thursday, they're the Trevor Truck Talks, where you get to hear behind the scenes of the mindset shifts I'm going through as a CEO of one of the fastest growing companies in America, and the mindset shifts you can take to run your business and win back your freedom as well. Let's dive into this episode.
What's up, y'all? Guys, I'm actually driving a little bit dark right now, right along the North Umpqua River, like one of my favorite places in the world. And just coming back from the first night of Carrot Camp, Camp 2 here. And guys, this time we headed upriver. It started misting a little bit, kind of that Oregon mountain mist, rivers rushing, this beautiful turquoise, bluish, greenish. And we've got people from all around the country, from New York, from North Carolina, from Florida, from Austin, Texas, from California, from Phoenix, Arizona, Columbus, Ohio. Oh my gosh, like everywhere, Dallas, Texas, and people coming from all around the United States to up-level their businesses, up-level their lives, and come to the middle of nowhere, Oregon. And so I want to kind of talk about a topic right now that I've been thinking about that's really relevant to a lot of these campers as I've been spending this entire week with our two groups of Carrot Camp. The first one sold out so fast. We opened up another group this week. It sold out. And I want to talk about strategy versus vision versus tactics a little bit, okay? Because one of the big things I focus on at Carrot Camp is getting people to focus on vision, both personal vision and business vision. Then we give them a process for that. Then we start to dial in strategy. But I discover that oftentimes when people are not reaching their goals, or oftentimes when people are not, going where they want to go, it's number one, I want to see, okay, if you're burnt out, like I've talked about on the Carrot Cast before, it's usually because you don't have a clear vision that you are excited about, right? That 3, 5, maybe even 10-year vision on the business side max, but I'd say 3 to 5 on the business side. And then personally, I like to do the 20-year, 10-year, and 5-year. And I've talked about that on episodes of the Carrot Cast before with my vision story, my personal vision story process, okay? But anytime we get to that spot where we probably feel like we're burning out, I first check, do they have a clear vision personally? Are they clear on the person that they want to become? Are they clear on the not really the things you want to achieve? I'm less concerned about that. I'm more concerned about, like, where do you want to be in life in 20 years? Where do you want to be in life in 10 years, in 5 years? Who's the person you want to become, okay? What might work look like in your ideal life in 20 years? What might work look like in your ideal life in 10 years, 5 years? Life look like, the whole thing, okay? Once we know that, and I know that you've got a vision for it, now I can go, cool, now let's look at the strategy. And the strategy is where a lot of people fall down. And I'm going to discuss a little bit in this what strategy is, what strategy is not, where I've struggled with strategy sometimes, even in the last 1, 2, 3 years, and delegating strategy correctly, or really helping people to get clear on strategy. And vision, guys, I'm going to break it down like this. Vision is like it's a 3, 5 or so years out business-wise. I like to go 10, 20, 5 years out in personal. And strategy is like 12 months to 18 months out thinking, okay? So if you're clear on vision, you might have some goals, right? You might have some very clear goals of, well, here's some numbers I want to hit, and here's some of the important milestones or the impact we want to make. But on your 3 to 5 year vision, you should have somewhere in there like, 2, 3, 4, 5 key strategies or key strategic moves or key rocks or whatever you want to call them over that 3 to 5 years to say, hey, if we're going to hit these goals in 3 years or 5 years, what do we have to do? Like, what's the most important things that we have to do in order to make those goals come true? Okay. So here's an example. Let's say you want to increase your revenue, right? You want to increase your revenue up. And in order to do that, let's say that you really feel that you need to go into a new market, or let's say that you need to add another type of lead source, okay? And let's say in order to do those, you need to also start to build a team. And so you might put down on your primary strategies or key moves for that 3 to 5 year vision, build a leadership team. Okay, that might be one of your key moves. You're like, I can't hit these goals without that. Or you might say, enter into a new market. Okay, let's say you go, man, I can't hit those goals without doing that. Okay, you're gonna have 3 to 5. Okay, now when we go to do our annual planning and you step into the year, the first thing you do is you look at your 3 to 5 year vision. What are my goals? What are those key strategies to get there that I've got written down? And here at Carrot Camp, I'm giving people our template. Like, everyone's getting our template. I'm teaching them exactly how to do all this so you can get more clarity. They can buy back that time, hire that team, right? And so when you're making those yearly plans, you look at the 3 to 5 year and you say, okay, what do I need to do this year strategically in order to hit those goals in 3 to 5 years? Okay, so if you have number goals, revenue goals, or whatever, deals or whatever, as an agent or an investor, then say, well, what do I have to do this year strategically in order to meet that goal? So write that down for this year, right? Pick your primary metrics that you have for the 3 to 5 year vision and say, well, what do I have to do for each one of those primary metrics this year? Okay, that's step 1 to start making your strategy. Step 2 to make your strategy after goals. Okay, we then have to know what are those priorities in order to hit those goals. That's part of your strategy. You could call them rocks. You could call them priorities. You could call them objectives. You could call them key moves. You could call them strategies. You could call them whatever the heck you want to call it. I don't care what you call them. But it's essentially saying, hey, what are the biggest, most important things that have to be done this year in order to hit that goal? That when we do, it's going to put us on track for the 3 year. And you can grab up from the 3 to 5 year vision. You can grab up from it and say, hey, if in the 3 to 5 year vision, it says we need to enter into a new market, you get to then choose and decide when are you entering into the new market? Is it this year you're entering into the market? Is it going to be next year? And if you decide it's this year, it started to rain outside, guys. So if you hear any of that in the background, it's rain. Hopefully the audio quality isn't too bad, but this is Oregon rain right here, y'all. So you might look at it and go, okay, cool. If building that team or that leadership team is critical in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe I got to do that this year. So pull that down to a key strategy or a rock or whatever for this year. That's part of your strategy. Okay. And then you make maybe 1 to 3 if you're newer to setting strategies and making strategic plans, or if you're really experienced at this and you've shown a really good track record for nailing it, maybe it'll be 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5 big rocks or strategies or objectives for the year. Okay. But I would stick with 3. Try to make 3. Okay. So once you nail those goals for the year, that's step 1 in your strategy. Number 2 is what are those big rocks or priorities for the strategy? Now, number 3 is if that's where I want to go with those goals, and those are the important key strategic moves or objectives or rocks or whatever you want to call them, then you say, well, what resources do I need to put in place in order to have those happen? That's the third part of creating a good strategy. And those resources could be time. Those resources could be money, okay? Those resources could be, anything like that. And so then write that down and say, in order to hit these goals, in order to go after these 3 objectives, I'm likely going to have to map out these resources, okay? I need to put out this kind of money in my budget, okay? Or I probably need to hire this type of a person, okay? And put those down, put those resource items down so then you can start to resource them, okay? Now, last in there is from those goals and from those objectives or rocks or whatever you want to call them, and you've started to kind of put some basic resources down, just start to brainstorm, like what are some of the projects that have to be done or initiatives or whatever you want to call them, okay? But essentially, what are the things that actually have to get done in order to reach those goals and reach those, hit those rocks? And that's where you can bring your team in. That's where you can start to brainstorm and say, well, in order to hire that leadership team or whatever, I need to write a job description. I need to start a hiring process. I need to do X, Y, Z, right? Or if you want to go into the new market, you're going to start to write down projects and say, research new markets, make decision on new market, right? Create a plan for going to enter that market, and then, create a marketing plan for the market and then execute, right? So there might be 4 or 5 projects in order to go into that new market. And that'll also help you kind of scope out resources. Man, it's coming down now, y'all. Hopefully you can still hear this. It adds to the adventure, so that helps you to kind of scope out the resources you need. That's pretty much a strategy, guys. That's pretty much a strategy. And a lot of people are kind of flying blind with strategy as investors or agents. They have a goal that they've set for the year, but then they really don't have a strategy that they're accountable for, that they hold themselves accountable for, or their team, in order to reach those goals. And so you set those goals at the start of the year, and you might even have those objectives, but then you get 2, 3, 4, 5 months into the year, and you're like, man, I don't feel like I'm any closer. And it's because you don't have a strategy that you can measure. Now you have the annual strategy now. Okay, now we need to pull into the tactical. The tactical is like, it's the this quarter kind of a stuff. Okay, this quarter, maybe even into next quarter stuff. And so every quarter, you pull up your annual strategy and those goals, and you say, okay, what do I need to get done this quarter in order to get those goals done and to move on those objectives or rocks? What do I need to get done this quarter? And then you get your team there and say, hey guys, this quarter, our goals are this for leads and this for new deals or this for whatever, because that's going to help us get to the annual. The things that we're going to work on this year to move towards rock number 2 are this for this quarter. And then you guys pull back and just start to brainstorm, what do I need to get done and when? And you might go, as you're going into Q2 or Q3 or whatever, you might say, okay, going into April, May, June, we're going to do project A in April, and we're going to do project B in May, and we're going to do project C in June. And this person's going to do it, and this is the date that they need to do it by, okay? So that's the strategy, y'all. I mean, that's it. It's pretty simple. I want you to rewind this, pause it, whatever you need to do to learn it, but you can put that all in a Google document. You can put it all in a Google Doc. They can have it. They can see it. You review that on the monthly, and then the weekly is pretty much just pulling up your scorecard and saying, hey, how are we doing towards those goals we said are important, number 1. And then number 2, how are we doing towards those projects that we said that we needed to do? Okay, I know it sounds very simple. It does take discipline, but I want you guys to think about strategies. As I'm talking about, you're talking with carrot campers, one of the biggest things is, number 1, most of them don't have a clear vision. And I'm even talking to people, guys, that have businesses that are pulling in $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year, netting 7 figures. Many of them don't even have a clear vision, okay, for 3 years out. So at that spot, you kind of end up running like a chicken with your head cut off, taking any and every opportunity, because every opportunity seems good and you don't have anything to weigh it against. I want you to remember this phrase and lock this phrase into your mind, that every decision, the vision drives every decision. Okay, the vision drives every decision. Lock that into your mind. The vision drives every decision. Okay, so if you're looking to make a decision, should I go into a new market? Should I take on this thing? Should I do this marketing activity? Should I hire this person? Should I do this? Are we executing right? You should always have a vision to go back to and look to drive that decision. If you don't, then you're likely overworking yourself. You're likely working towards a never-ending goal that's never going to end, because you're just trying to continue to make sure that you're holding the ship together and making income stay up. But get that vision down, and then the strategy is what you look at on the operational side during the year. That's the strategy. Put that on a piece of paper, put it on a Google Doc, whatever you need to do, and talk about it all the time with your team. And then you measure the execution of your strategy with your scorecards, project updates, things like that, guys. So lock into strategy, okay? If you don't have a strategy right now, guys, come to the next Carrot Camp, carrotcamp.com, or I'm going to drop something for you guys right now. I'm doing an event with Mike Hambright from Investor Fuel, and Investor Fuel is one of the best real estate masterminds in the game. I've been a member for 4 or 5 years now, and we decided to do an event together at the end of August 2022. So it's August 31st, September 1st. It's called $1 Million Meeting. And you can go to milliondollarmeeting.co/carrot milliondollarmeeting.co/carrot. And use that URL, guys, because we want to track everyone who came from Carrot with this event that we're doing together, because we want to be able to invite you to Carrot after-hour type parties, okay? Carrot after-hour type get-togethers, networking events, maybe even like breakout session workshops. We're not sure. We're still kind of working this stuff out. But the event's going to be an amazing, amazing event. We've already got some of our top customers that are going to be speaking there. Keith Sant is going to be speaking there. The home buying guys from Dallas, Texas, 7-figure business. They're starting to get into big multifamily. We just closed 150 unit property in Dallas together recently. They're going to be speaking. They went from struggling and losing 40K their first year, doing all kinds of marketing, to honing in, focusing in on Carrot, 7-figure business now, and going into big multifamily. There's going to be so many other amazing Carrot experts. Bo Hollis is going to be there speaking. So many other amazing experts from both Carrot and the Investor Fuel family. And guys, we want to make this the most amazing event possible. One of the things I'm going to be talking about is how do you dial in that business in a way that sets you free. I talk about it in deep detail at Carrot Camps. I'm going to give you guys the as much as I possibly can in 45 to 50 minutes down there. And then I'll be hanging with you guys for 2 full days in Dallas, Texas. I'm pumped about it. So go to milliondollarmeeting.co/carrot. And guys, it's a $500 investment for the normal tickets, I believe. There's VIP tickets as well, where you get to hang with us in all the VIP dinners. And that alone, you get one extra nugget from sitting with us at dinner. You get one extra nugget from sitting with us at lunches, or the networking with the Investor Fuel members, whatever it is, guys. One extra nugget pays for that VIP ticket 300 times over potentially, right? And so head it over there, milliondollarmeeting.co. I'm going to be down there August 31st, September 1st, 2022. Part of my team is going to be there. Some of our top customers are going to be there. And I want this to be the lightning rod that helps you close out the year strong, lead into 2023 strong. And I'm excited to have a chance to meet hopefully hundreds of Carrot customers in Dallas, Texas this year. So go there, guys. We'll have some amazing bonuses and benefits for everybody who does come that as we get closer to the event, we'll announce. And so get the ticket soon before it sells out, y'all. Bring your business partner, bring your acquisitions manager, bring your real estate agent, whatever it is. Bring that person, and let's light it up in Dallas, Texas at the end of the month. All right, guys. So focus on strategy and build a better business. Tomorrow is the last day of this week of Carrot Camps. Like I said, we did 2 Carrot Camps this week. And is it, I'll kind of wrap with this, guys, some kind of real talk. Does it take a lot of energy? Yeah, it definitely does. Is it something that can wear you out of being on for 5 days in a row with 2 groups of Carrot Camp? It can, but you know what? I get energized like crazy being in this group with people, because I get to see the lives that are changed. The first Carrot Camp, Daniel, who we're going to have on the podcast, he came up there, guys. He's like, hey, I didn't like my job. He's in Hawaii. He had a really well-paying job, didn't like my job. My family was saying I shouldn't do real estate. He's 2 or 3 years into his business, guys. He did $1.1 million in profits this past 12 months. 80% of his deals came from Carrot. And he's saying, I absolutely would not be in the spot in life that I am right now without Carrot. And then you talk to other guys like Keith Sant. You have to talk to other people, just tons and tons of people from Carrot Camp, where it's like, this company has completely changed the course of their life. And that's a responsibility that I take on. I take it seriously. And so when we have these events like Carrot Camp or $1 Million Meeting with Mike, once again, milliondollarmeeting.co/carrot. When we have these events, guys, I mean, that's a responsibility I bring with me to these events. I say, I want to make this so it's not just a cool event. I want to make this so it's not something that you learn something from and you go away and you got a new marketing hack. Like, you're going to get that, right? But I want to make this so it changes your life. I want to make this so it changes your perspective. I want to make this so it changes your outlook on humanity even. So you feel that there's more hope in this world. That's why I absolutely love putting my all into these events, into this podcast. And I want to see more of you guys down there and hear your stories and hopefully light you up and change your life this next year as well, guys. All right. Have an amazing rest of the week. Hopefully the audio is okay with all the rain. If not, I'll make sure to record the next one when there's no rain. But hopefully you can stick it through with that little bit lower quality. And love you guys. Go to carrot.com/evergreen. If you're not a Carrot customer and you're wondering what the heck does Carrot do to help a guy make $1.1 million profits in 12 months in his third year in business, 80% from Carrot, go to carrot.com/evergreen. I teach you how to do it in that webinar. We run it every single week. Go check it out, y'all. Carrot.com/evergreen. milliondollarmeeting.co/carrot to join us at the end of August. All right, guys. Talk soon. Love you, y'all. Have a great week.